When designing this pattern, alongside the Fair Isle band in the middle, I put together these two very simple little border patterns, which are called seeding patterns. And they're a very simple way of incorporating the two colours of the yarn and alternating the stitch to create this really pretty border. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So on my hat, I'm now on the third round of seeding so that you can see how it works. So you can see I'm alternating between the main colour and my lighter colour. And the simplest way of doing it is thinking of your contrast colour as a dominant colour and then your background colour, your main colour, as your less dominant, less important colour. So I'm thinking of the main colour on the top and then the contrast colour underneath. So I'm keeping the two yarns quite separate. So when I knit my next main colour, I'm going to keep that one up there, and then I've got my contrast colour underneath, and I'm going to just consistently keep them in that order. So I pick up, knit, drop, and then knit the next colour, drop, knit the next colour, and you can keep going all the way round like that. It's a little bit slow because you can see I keep having to drop and pick up all the time, but it does still work, and it's still alternating the colours very nicely. And the important thing is it's keeping the back very tidy. You'll notice at the back of this hat on the wrong side, the yarns, the floats, or the threads along the back are all very neat and they don't get tangled up, and that's because they're not getting crossed over when you're knitting them. All the time you have a consistency of keeping one yarn above the other. So that's the simplest way of doing it. If you want to do another way, the way I do it is I hold both yarns in one hand but over two different fingers. So I will pick up my main colour on my first finger, and then I pick up the other one and I put that over my middle finger, so that now when I knit them I will alternate between the two. So I will go with the middle colour and then let me just redo that. Okay, so then I can use the main colour and then middle finger for the contrast colour, index finger for the main colour, and I can just go back and forth between them. So it's a lot quicker. It takes a bit of practice to get into a comfortable position like that, but a lot quicker, and it means I don't keep dropping and having to pick up all the time. So this way I'm just going back and forth between the main colour and the contrast colour and alternating as I go which finger I use. Another technique is to hold the yarns in two hands, and this involves continental technique of knitting as well as European technique. So this one I'm going to keep my main colour in my right hand, but I'm going to take the contrast colour into my left hand, and this time I'm going to pick up from the left side like with continental knitting, and it's quite a different technique. So what I do here is with my right needle I go in as if I'm going to knit, and you just pick up that contrasting yarn, and then I will knit from the other side a normal knit stitch and then alternate to the other side. So this is a very different technique, and this is involving two different knitting techniques, continental and European, and it does work just in the same way. You're still keeping one dominant and one less important. So you have your contrasting colour is being picked up on one side, and your main colour is being knitted on the other side. And from the back, you'll still have that same idea that the contrasting colour is lying underneath the main colour. So there's lots of different techniques for holding your yarns with Fair Isle, and it just takes a little bit of practice to find the one that works best for you.